Hello, hello, hello. This is Tom from Tom and Ruth Philippine Adventures. Today I want to do a video about something that I get questions about today. And believe it or not, I knew it would happen. I just didn't know when it would happen. We have a federal judge that blocks Trump's health insurance rule for immigrants seeking visas into the United States. There's actually another ruling that came down, public charge from the State Department. Now remember, the other one did one Homeland Security. This State Department issued a new public charge rule. So I will do another video on that. But this one right here, this federal judge blocks Trump's health insurance rule. In Oregon Sunday, a federal judge said, okay, enough of that. They decided, okay, anybody before was requiring to apply for U.S. visas to the United States of America. They actually had to have insurance on the people that actually come into the U.S. and you actually had to prove with a policy that you actually have insurance on those people. So a U.S. District Federal Judge, Mr. Michael Simon, granted a temporary restraining order. Now what will happen is Trump's group will, of course, do a restraining order. They just stopped it. And so they will file another case probably to get it reactivated. But anyway, but 7 U.S. citizens and a non-profit organization has actually put the case against Trump's rule. So they would block 2/3 all prospective legal immigrants in the country. And what it would affect is people seeking immigration visas come to the United States. My wife and I, be my wife and my daughter, or anybody coming to the United States that's not a U.S. citizen will be barred from entering the country unless they're covered by health insurance within 30 days of entering the country. And they find out that they must have enough financial resources to pay for any medical conditions or costs. Now, you know that's a pretty broad rule. That could make that you have to have $10,000, $20,000, $50,000. What is the amount of money? And that was part of the problem there. So it would apply to those already in the United States, would not apply to the ones in the United States, but it would apply to people actually coming to the States. Now, if you're already in the States and you are a permanent resident, like asylum seekers, refugees, children, you're okay there. But if you're actually looking like my wife and I come to the States, this would really affect us, that I would have had to prove. And not only that, I'd have to make sure that I would have the availability of funds to occur or pay for any medical debts that may be incurred while my daughter and my wife are there during that time. So too many citizens are taking advantage of the country's generous public health programs, they said, and that it actually caused a lot of uncompensated health care costs, and that's what they're trying to alleviate from. But as you know, we understand, and I believe we have to have some type of program in effect that if an immigrant comes across the border, you need some type of control. I can understand having insurance. That's not a problem. But the problem would be if they required for you to have any additional money, such as, well, you need to have not only medical insurance, how much money do you have that's available that if the person is sick, to cover the costs after the fact. So do you have $500,000? Do you have $200,000 available that you can actually cover the cost of the 80-20 or whatever plan, 70-30, 90-10, whatever plan that you cost? Because we all know insurance only covers that much of your policy, and you have to pay this much of the policy depending on what plan that you have. And it can get a few thousand, it can get up in the thousands. So, and thousands, like 100,000, depending on the care, which is understandable to a certain extent. But then again, too, what would be the guideline? So the guideline would be $5,000 or $1 million, and that's the problem. And that's the problem, they're having a problem with that. So, they're happy they did. So under the rule, insurance can be a short-term coverage or catastrophic, and can be purchased individually or provided by employer. And that was a good part. But the problem, they found that U.S. immigrants that have private health insurance are 57%. So the immigrants, only a little over half of them had insurance, the rest did not. Where compared to you, if you're born in the United States and U.S. citizen, they said up to 70% of the people actually had insurance, and so the other 30% did not, because of the poor and things like that. So, and they were actually really worried about that. But so what they decided to do, the judge, and thank goodness, I think he stopped it. Now, I believe we do need some type of care, and yes, I believe insurance. But the problem is, how much money would that BI officer or somebody say to you, that USCIS officer, customs officer, say, hey, you have 100 grand, you have 50 grand to cover in case you're sick? That was my problem. From 2013 to 2017, the uninsured rate actually from the immigrants dropped 12% because of the Affordable Care Act. About 1.1 million people obtain green cards every year to become permanent residents. So 1,100,000 people actually do that. So they're trying to make it hard for people, to stop them from coming to the United States, and make it hard for green card holders and for the existing green card holders. Now, don't think that the existing green card holders will be innocent in the future on this, and that's what you're trying to eliminate and stop with these judges and courts. And I'm very happy they did. So this is actually a good thing. So so they blocked the other public charge measure. They blocked this measure. The State Department decided, okay, we're going to come out with our own public charge, and they came out with that back last week, 2 weeks ago. It was supposed to be implemented on October the 11th, from what I can tell, but they're actually new guidelines, and I will do a video on that to give you guys updates on this. This is really just an update on an existing video of one that I did earlier, but the judge in Oregon has actually put a stop to it, and thank goodness for that. Because I think, you think about it, insurance, okay, you have to have insurance. That's not a problem. Get insurance. That's not a problem. But the problem is saying, okay, what funds do you have in the bank to cover the other 80 or 20%? Then they're getting into your personal aspects. They're getting more into, well, what's the guide? I mean, so what's the guide going to be? If someone's from this age, and more prone to be sick, or this age, more prone to be sick. So you can actually see a lot of things that may be happening there that the judge actually saw and presented by the other people. So I want to thank everybody for watching. Please hit like, and this of course is an addition to the other video we did, and thank you very much.